That's Michelle Einstein's Songbird Song. These are excerpts from Deepak Chopra interview on impact theory. He's the author of Metahuman. Reality is the hypnosis of social conditioning, he says. Reality shifts as your consciousness shifts. Deepak Chopra decided he wanted to know what is the source of knowing, not what you know. You can look it up these days. The key to creativity and higher consciousness is, how do you know what you know? God named his true daughter, Michelle Einstein's Songbird Song, Queen of Creativity. Back to Chopra. How do atoms, chemicals, and neurotransmitters produce this experience? All that's coming to you is electrical information. All that's going to your brain is not the color red, not the beautiful sunset. It's just electrical currents. You're experiencing your own body. You're experiencing thoughts. In fact, you're experiencing everyday reality. No neuroscientist can tell you how that can happen. Neuro means in the brain. Your mind, your brain experiences in the physical world are correlated. The purpose of all healers, all physicians, should be to end human suffering. We've done a good job on the physical level. You break your leg, you can see an orthodontist. You get pneumonia, you take an antibiotic. But on the chronic level, what is that word? Accelerated aging. We haven't done a good job. Gene mutation is a mistake. Good example, Angelina Jolie had a double mastectomy because she discovered she had a breast cancer gene as a protection. Gene editing exists. 95% of gene mutation is related to lifestyle, sleep, managing stress, whether you meditate or not, exercise or not, do yoga or not, breathing techniques, the quality of your emotions, nutrition, personal relationships, social interactions, environment, connection with nature, your gene activity. We call it epigenetics. We're beginning to do a good job there, but we're not there yet. We have something which is quite bizarre. It's called existential suffering. We wonder why we exist. We wonder why we get old, and can we prevent that? We wonder why we get infirm and lose our memories. Can we prevent that? We also are afraid of death and wonder, can we prevent that? The answer is biological death is based on a false premise, which is you are your biology, you are your body, and you are your mind. The hard problem of consciousness is you. You're not your body. You're not your mind. To observe a fact is to know that you are not a fact. To observe an emotion is to know you are not that emotion. To observe the body is to know you're not this bundle of perceptions and sensations. So, who are you? What is it that knows a fact? What is it that knows the perception? The color red. Is there a color red anywhere in the physical universe? Or is it just an experience? I guarantee you that no scientist can tell you that the color red exists anywhere in the universe. It's an experience in the human consciousness, not in the consciousness of a bat who doesn't see colors, but experiences the color of echo or ultrasound. When you realize that everything you thought was real is not real, you also realize you think you are who you think you are is not real. I am not Deepak Chopra with this mind-body identity. I am a provisional identity. I was once a fertilized ovum. Then I was a zygote, an embryo, a baby, a toddler. When you realize your name, your form, and everything you see is provisional, to some people they have the dark night of the soul. They go into a deep depression because everything they thought was real is no longer real. Michelle says the immortals have settled on earth to breathe, to breed, to retire existential angst, to rule and benefit for eternity as the holy royal family of good human beings. Perfect protein. Beings. Perfect protein. Beings. Some people get so scared on LSD that they have a bad trip. Some people cross that threshold and discover nirvana. Gloria Gaynor. Gloria Gaynor sings and I know for as long as I've got love, I know I'll stay alive. I've got all my love to give. I've got all my lives to live. I will survive. I will survive. Hey, hey. Let's see what we got here. Ear, eye, she, ear, eye. That will survive, okay? Sight and sound. You see with your eye. You hear with your ear. Where were we? I just discovered nirvana. I can morph myself into any experience, including the human experience. But the human experience is the experience that causes existential depression that doesn't exist for immortals. In Eastern tradition, number one, you suffer because you don't know who you are, your body-mind experience. Number two, you grasp, cling to experiences which are evidenced and transitory and dreamlike. What happened to your childhood? It's over. What happened to yesterday? It's over. Your pen and ink makes it relivable. Just write and read it. What happened 5 minutes ago? It's over. What happens to these words by the time you hear them? They don't exist. I can touch. I can feel. Feels real. That's what Michelle said. The German philosopher said, we are asleep. Our life is a dream, but every once in a while we wake up and know we are dreaming. So what do you wake up to? When you cry, you wake up to your true self, which is not body and mind. Or is it everything you've ever experienced and can experience again as you will? Asked Michelle. So grasping and clinging are the second cause of human suffering. The third cause is being afraid of anything that is unpleasant. Abandonment, being treated by someone not respectfully, and aversion to certain experiences. The fourth is related to your ego identity. The fifth is the fear of death. They're all connected. They're all the same fear. Not knowing who you are. This is the biggest question we should be asking. Laura and Fritz Perls, said Michelle, Mary Magdalene, and Jesus Christ, founders of Gestalt therapy, answered that question to the admiration of the Guru Charan Singh Jesus Christ III. They said, after figuring out, we are our attention span, able to perceive and feel when we exercise our free will. Fritz Perls, being Josh Groban, said, whenever fans tell him they experience what he is singing, he realizes he belongs to a family tree. He needs to ask, who is the head? He and his wife, Mary Magdalene, are. They are the first. Brother and sister, who, because Mother Mary and Son Jesus then lived and died and were reborn, met, rekindled their original love, married, and because deepest lovers are truest lovers, became the foundation for music, the Book of Love, which has been presented as the romance of the universe of the collective conscious and unconscious collective, the source of creativity, the resource necessary for eternal love, granted to his children by the sum of all things, the Most High God, the Sun, Light, Thor, Thunder God, hammering away, sound, Lord, the heaven order, Father, 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 and Mother, Mother, therapist. The body is a perceptual activity. Who am I? What do I want? What is my purpose? What am I grateful for? Going into the stillness of meditation, you have what the wisdoms call revelation, revealed truth. I would say just call it insight, mindfulness, awareness of body, awareness of mind. Peak anatomy, says Michelle. Awareness of mental space, awareness of the web of relationships, because the universe leads you ultimately to the awareness of awareness. And when you discover that, that's nirvana. That's what the Buddhists say. Panpsychism, a cop-out, says Deepak Chopra. I'm glad philosophers and scientists are going in that direction. What we call consciousness is organized matter, and where there is matter, there is consciousness, from atom to galaxy. So mind and matter go together from atom to galaxy. That's panpsychism. It's a breakthrough because now you are not saying consciousness is just in the brain. You're saying it pervades everywhere. There is no such thing as death, says Michelle, unless you can persuade the sun to let you merge back into him, fire, and burn forever. Atom, beginning, and Eve, eternity. I am saying actually there are no atoms, this is Deepak Chopra talking, and no electrons, gravity, and force fields. Fields, elders, clitoris, and penis. For matter, all these things, electrons, gravity, and force field, are human constructs, where matter is a useful construct. I am going beyond psychicness, to what is called non-duality, to what is, there is only consciousness. It's modifying itself into perceptions, images, and parts. Names to that. We give a name to a color, to a shape, to sensations. We call it a cup. We call it a hand. We call it a galaxy, gravity, and force fields. Social construct, otherwise you wouldn't know how to navigate everything, everyday experience. I'll meet you at the corner of 56 and Broadway. You assume that's real, but you made up that location, just like we made up latitude and longitude. Nikola Tesla said, Michelle said, when we can understand energy, vibration, and frequency, we'll be able to understand the universe. Universe. You. Entering. Pleasuring. Vibration. Energy. What is this? R-A-I-S-E, raise. Raise our level of feeling, being alive. We made up the galaxy, we made up the bodies, we made up the gravity and forces. This is what Deepak Chopra said. Tom said, if all we are is consciousness, is there something behind that? And where do we see it going? Like an evolutionary thing? Why do we get here? Deepak said, is there anything behind consciousness? No. You can't get behind consciousness. That's called pure consciousness. Everything is modified consciousness. What we are experiencing is awareness, state of consciousness. The awareness that is experiencing a physical body with eyes open because they can see. So awareness is modifying itself every time you open your eyes into this experience, and you call it the physical world. If you experience sensations, thoughts, images, emotions, stories, it's like a dream. As soon as you close your eyes, you're experiencing daydreaming. Same dreams that you dream at night. It has disappeared. It's only a mental world. Then you go deeper at night. Even the mental world disappears in what we call deep sleep. That's the highest intelligence processing cause in deep sleep. Coalition being made. Toxins being removed. There's a whole resetting of your memories and a consolidating of that. So in deep sleep, even though there is no evidence of a physical world, it's a very intelligent, highly correlated state in which unconscious processes, many are being consolidated. Imagination is being refined. So think of these three states like you would think, metaphorically, of water. Jesus, Fritz Pearls, Josh, is the Atlantic Ocean, says Michelle. Mary Magdalene, Freud, Laura Pearls, Emma Jung, is the Indian Ocean. Her daughter, astrologer, astronomer, Galileo, Queen Victoria, Empress of India, Robert Birdsong, is the Pacific Ocean. The Buddha, Govinda Singh, is the Rock of Gibraltar. B.F. Skinner. Deepak Chopra continues, becoming ice as the physical world, the Titanic, says Michelle. Water as water, streaming. Water as vapor, dreaming and fluctuating and ambiguous and contradictory. And if you went a little beyond that, I'm speaking metaphorically, you'd end up with what is called the quantum vacuum, unlimited ground of existence the body just has. But you can do that subjectively. You can move from the physical world to the dream world, to the sleep, and beyond to what is called fundamental consciousness, the source of all knowing, all experience. Is called undifferentiated consciousness. The sun, the sky, the air, the dirt, said Michelle. It is non-reality. It is all born. It is all knowing and all things knowable, says Deepak Chopra. It is the fundamental ground of existence of the total universe, the Creator. Tom says, duality is, it is no one thing, it all just is. Deepak says, subject-objective division is artificial. Reality is all homes, subjects. What is reality? Some would say the world 360 degrees. They have complex eyes, multiple lenses you can own. What scientists call reality comes under the heading of naive realism, that the physical world exists exactly as perceived by the five senses. Obviously, that's not true. There's the realm, says Michelle, of paranormal or supernatural. Deepak says different species experience through different modes of sensory perception. Naive realism says a physical of five human senses world would exist even if no one was observing it. Well, how do you prove that? Okay, I'm going to end this video. We'll do a part 2 later. Just a lot of information. These are answers to the meaning of the world and how the world works. I hope you're perceiving that. Okay, I'm ending the video now.